Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Welcome to our Happy Friday show. Hi, everybody. Hello. Welcome to our Friday show. I guess we were having a little bit of issues with the stream. I don't know what's going on. I hope you can all hear me and things are just gonna go smooth from now on. In the countdown, there was little something about the stream. So we'll keep our fingers crossed and hope that we make it through. It's a big day today, of course, even bigger day on Sunday. We are counting down, so we appreciate you stopping by today, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. Make sure you keep commenting, say hi to your friends and everybody, introduce yourself, tell us where you're tuning in from. And of course, if you're new around here, make sure you sign up to like our page and sign up for notifications. Actually, I heard a good point. Andrea pointed something out. Even if you subscribe to our YouTube channel and click that bell for notifications, make sure that your phone has notifications turned on for YouTube. Because you can sign up for notifications, but if you didn't authorize your phone to notify you, it's not going to happen. So you just go into notifications on your phone settings and make sure that YouTube is on. All right, so that's your little tech lesson of the day. Tech lesson of the day. That's it. We are not tech people, so cannot help you with all issues, but when I find them out, I will pass that along. So, of course, today is Friday. We always kick off our Fridays with a lovely, lovely sipper. We got a little break from the extreme heat here in Minnesota the past couple of days, but it's coming back out here next week. And it's hot everywhere else, especially in the Pacific Northwest. So Johan is, my grandson and son and daughter-in-law are experiencing that. So here, how about a little refreshment? I thought today was perfect for a hairy navel. So what's a hairy navel? Of course, we should never have hairy navels anywhere.
Yikes.
Except in your class. Except in your class.
Yikes.
We have a little bit of vodka, peach schnapps, and then orange juice and sparkling water. Normally in a hairy navel recipe, there's no sparkling water. I like it because it freshens it up. And you can, of course, play with the version, or how much juice, how much water. Or you can leave the peach and vodka out. To make a virgin hairy navel, I would put orange juice and maybe find some peach juice or peach nectar and put in there. And then, or you can use peach flavored sparkling water with orange juice. Delicious. Cheers, everybody. Happy Friday.
Cheers.
Mr. HP is here, of course, running the show. So welcome back.
She always forgets to introduce me.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I was kind of busy with the stream issues we were having, but seems to be going good. I hope everything is good. So we, of course, since he's here, we have a word of the day. Mr. HP, word of the day. So what is your word of the day, Mr. HP? Tell us.
Okay, the word of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put it up here. It is janky. If you have a hairy navel, it's janky.
Except the one that comes in a glass.
Yeah.
I agree.
If your internet is not connecting correctly,
we got a little janky internet.
It got a little janky.
Yes.
Don't have a janky.
Now, I would love to hear. So this is a word that you use all the time, almost daily. So this word is not new to me, as many of our words of the days are sometimes. But this one's not new to me. So I would love to hear if many of you use that word, because I just thought it was a pretty common word, but I guess it isn't. Somebody asked you, what do you mean by janky?
Janky when it's not as it should be.
You pronounce it in a special way, though.
Janky? Don't be janky.
I love it. All right, so I forgot to mention, of course, we have a live giveaway every Friday. So from all your comments, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, keep commenting, asking questions, all that stuff, because that increases your chances to win the giveaway at the end of the show. All right, so let's kick it off with our Stripology, Mixology book tour. I've been introducing the quilts in the book kind of every show, taking a look at them a little closer. Of course, the book is available for pre-order. Still no word on when we will get it delivered. They are working on it, so just in my brain, I see all these little elves at the printing machines putting the book together for me, and so we just gotta measure that, and it's gonna be so good when they finally gets here. So today's quilt that I chose to introduce a little bit better, take a better look at, is called Crisscross Double Toss, and it is hanging on the big wall. It's a bigger quilt because it is set on point. So usually when you have big blocks and then when you set them on point, the quilts just get bigger. So it's still offered in 3 sizes. I took a quilt, so this pattern was in an old book of mine, which is, you know, has been discontinued. It's out of print and discontinued. It was called Strip On. So let's start by looking at the Strip On cover. This is the one, this is my version, my new version. Do you have the Strip On book cover? Yeah, it was in there. So
Where does it say?
it is just, I forgot to highlight it for you, honey. I forgot to highlight it for you. It's in there, but you'll look for it. It's in the folder. So the Strip-On book came out, I think, around 2009, 2008, 9, I think 2009, 9, 10, somewhere around there. And it was, all the quilts in the book were made from 2.5-inch strips or 1.5-inch strips. So it's kind of a mixture. And many of the quilts actually have been republished as a single pattern or in previous books. So where I've taken a little twist on it, for example, in my last book, the Stripology Mixology 2, we have 2 quilts in there, Angler's Choice and what is it called? Oh, the one with the stars? See, I don't even remember my names of my own quilts. It's gonna come to me. It's gonna come to me. But so there were 2 quilts in the last book. In the first book, first Mixology book, we had the cover quilt there used to be in this Strip-On book as well. So some of them came out in single patterns, but really great quilts. And this one was one of those that people had asked for a lot. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Maybe some of you even have this book. So there it is. The quilt on the cover is called Crisscross Double Toss. In the book, I also have a 1.5-inch version of it. But as you can see on the cover, this version, I use that main print that is carried out to the setting triangles and in the border. I just use that in the alternate blocks as a whole. So I wanted to switch it up and kind of get a little more piecing into it, a little more interest. So for the new book, I took those out and swapped them with just a little bit of a piece block. So you'll see the difference when you see this quilt. That main print is still in the center of those blocks, but I added a little border with some scrappy 1.5-inch strips. So this quilt is then made with 2.5 and 1.5-inch strips. So it's a really fun illusional quilt, especially if you find that print that you just absolutely love and want to feature in a quilt. That border and the setting triangles, it's going to lay so nicely on a bed, hanging off the sides, and really being the focus and the focal point. So a little story behind this Strip-On book, if you put that cover back up. So the cover, as you probably know, if you know me, I don't like to do things, 100% traditionally sometimes. So I had this idea because I knew the book was going to be called Strip-On. So I had this idea to do something unusual when we were doing the photo shoot. So I took this one photo thinking that, if I like it, it might be a funny idea to put it on the cover. I, of course, didn't end up doing it. It was a little more out there, but I'll show you the photo that we took. Because it was called Strip-On, I just had to do this. Yeah.
I've never seen this picture.
No, I know. know. Nobody's seen this picture because I've been hiding.
Oh,
Now
my
I'm putting it
goodness.
out to everybody. Of course, I'm not naked behind there, but the illusion. So I don't think. So you would have not allowed me to put this on the cover?
No.
Okay. I made the decision not to do it, but I thought the idea was funny. So, okay, you can take this down. We don't have to show it more to the world. I just thought, hey, come on.
I cannot believe this.
King, come on. Yeah, it's Friday, everybody. Woohoo! Happy Friday. And happy birthday to our Kara that you guys saw here last Friday on the show. It's her birthday, so happy birthday, Kara. Yay! And everybody else, if it's your birthday today. So that's my story about Crisscross double toss. It's got some stories, this quilt. So let's switch gears and start talking about our quilt along, okay? 2 more sleeps and we will have Sunday, finally. So tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Central Time, the pattern will be in your account if you purchased either the Kimberly pattern or pre-ordered the book. So the full pattern will be in your account. I, of course, highly urge you you can read through it, you can prep, don't get started. Please don't. And if you do want to get started, okay, but please don't post anything until the day of the quilt along, when we're into the quilt along. It's just more fun when we have the feeling of we're all doing this together, and so then we start posting our progress throughout the day. So just a little courtesy. I know it's tempting to sew a couple of quilts out tomorrow as soon as it comes out, but if you do it, that's okay. Just keep it to yourself. Deal? Do we have a deal? All right, good. So, of course, we start at 10 a.m. on Sunday, and I saw some questions in the crew on Facebook that you were wondering what's really the difference between all of the Kimberlys. So we have 3 Kimberlys on the set right now. I thought I would start with showing you the 4 that we have made. No, not that. Well, let's start with just the photos. Yeah. So we have the original, and then we have this one, which is made out of the Sanctuary bundle. This one is hanging on the ladder in the corner. And it's just gorgeous. I love the colors. This just pops. I love the more variety in color in this one, lights and darks. It just becomes really playful. Then I made just a square version from an old layer cake I had when I was needing to test something, and this is just all kinds of scraps. And then these are both version 1.0, and then we have a 2.0 version here, which is made from one of our Halloween bundles, Halloween Whimsy. Beautiful, just greens, oranges, and kind of charcoal grays. So really pretty. So this is layout 1 of the 2.0 version. So let's look at the different versions that you can do. And again, let me just tell you. So here's the original, the 1.0 version. These are just computer graphics, so you can really just look at the design and just imagine it in the coloration of your fabric. So this is 1.0. So all the block layouts will be the same. Just know that 2.0 and 3.0 will be just a 1/2 inch smaller block. But I wanted to also tell you, you can get to the 1.0 stage and then decide if you want to try something else. And I will take you through that on Sunday. Once we get to that, I will show you how you can test your blocks that way by just kind of folding them and seeing and visualizing. But then here is 2.0, just one of the layouts. This is a very, I'm just using 2 colors to show it, but this just shows the graphical nature of the design. Of course, if you have multicolors, you're going to color this in a different way. And then here is the layout 2. So same block, just turning the blocks creates kind of a totally different feel. And let me tell you, there are many other versions. You can play with this layout of the 2.0 and create other versions as well. It's not just 2 layouts. All right. So you could totally do like a barn raising layout with this, and just, yeah, it's endless because every time you have an asymmetrical block like this, you can really play with the direction and how that pattern gets created. All right, so then we have the 3.0, and I colored that also just in 2 colors. And so this is the full visual of how that's going to end up. You can turn those blocks. It just doesn't look great with just 2 colors. I would only turn every other block, and I'll again take you through that on Sunday, how that would look. But I would only do that if I have a lot of different colors, and it would just create even more motion. But I really like the kind of the opposite effect, like a reflection, light, dark, dark, light. So I'm using a bundle for this one where it's very distinct lights and darks. My lights are either ivory or kind of a caramel brown, and then all my darks are light blue or dark blue. So there's going to be quite a bit of contrast, and it's going to, I think, create a really cool overall feel. So let's talk about this, and I'm going to answer questions on any of these layouts. Are there any questions yet? Mr. HP, anywhere about these? Okay, let's go. Could you put 3.0 on point? You can put all of them on point. So none of them are on point. They're all straight sets. Just the difference is 2.0 has a diagonal, so it's an asymmetrical block. You know what I mean? So you can put all of them on point, and it's going to create a whole different thing. Just know that Kimberly, because the center square is on point already, if you put the block on point, that's going to be square. So the center square is going to be square. So that was the same question. The only thing with 3.0, because it has such like rectangles and then you have the triangles in the middle on point, I don't know if that would look good on point, to set the blocks on point. That's just my opinion. Of the 3 versions, which one would be the easiest? Number 1, 1.0, easy, easy. So you can definitely, if you are a beginner or want something really easy, start with that one. And then I promise you, you're not going to make just one Kimberly. It's one of those that's super fun, super fast, and whenever you need a quick gift. So then you can try your hand at any of the others. Could you combine 2 and 3 blocks? Absolutely. I don't know how that would look. It would look kind of crazy, but go for it. You can try it. Will you and Mr. HP be eating Stack and Wax? Please share the recipe. Oh, I can share the recipe. We would probably not be eating it here because now we're in the studio at work, so I don't have a full kitchen here. But they may have got eaten before we arrive here. Believe that. That's kind of our traditional quilt-along meal because we don't get much breaks throughout the day to eat at all. I forget, did you say we can use some stash fabric? You can use whatever fabric you want. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Everybody has just picked their own, bought their own bundle, done whatever. So we're going to have lots of different colorations of the Kimberlys. Some of my pre-cut squares are not perfectly square. Some are a bit short. Will that be a problem for Kimberly? No, it depends how short, of course. If we're talking about a 1/2 inch or more, then I would probably trim down. And you can still make the blocks, they will just end up smaller. So you can start with a smaller square. If your squares are rectangles by like a 1/4 inch, you're okay. If it's closer to a 1/2 inch, if you have like a 9.5 by 10, I would trim them to 9.5 and start there. Just because it's just going to be too much trouble to try and figure out when it's that much. Will there be a cocktail for Sunday? Yeah, that's my next little segment. I wanted to mention I have 4 recipes, 2 food recipes and 2 cocktail recipes on the blog already. So let me talk about what they are. So the first, I always come up with just fun. This is just for fun. You, of course, don't have to do this, but it just creates an even more bonding when some of us are making this. It's a great make ahead little either snack or a meal so that you can make it early, make it the day before, and then you don't have to worry about it and just enjoy the day. So the first one is a pasta salad. It's a Southwest pasta salad. Of course, all my recipes are vegan, but you can of course put any kind of meat in it. This one is very yummy. I usually use like chickpea pasta so we can get a little more protein out of our pasta, and tomatoes, peppers. So it's kind of like a Southwest, almost like a chipotle flavored, really yummy dressing that you can make with just cashews and water. And if you don't want to do that, you can always use mayo instead. And this one is actually better as it sits a little bit. So if you make it early in the morning, it's really perfect for lunchtime. So then we also have an egg salad. Mr. HP loves his egg salad.
Delicious.
And so I love to make this version where you use chickpeas instead of eggs. So you just kind of chop them up really easy right out of the can. Just drain them and rinse them. And then just mash them a little bit and then add some onion, celery, pick like relish, and I use vegan mayo. You can use whatever mayo you have.
Put it on some club crackers.
He likes it on club crackers. You can put it on bread. You can put it on lettuce wraps or whatever else. This is really yummy. I put a little bit of turmeric in there so it gets the yellow color so it looks like the eggs, but a lot less cholesterol in this than using eggs. So then the other two recipes are, of course, for a drink. And I figured, since we're doing this on a Sunday morning, I just thought Sunday brunch, so maybe some of you might want to make a mimosa in the morning, whether it is an alcohol-free one or you like sparkling wine or champagne. And I don't like to open a champagne bottle and let it go to waste. So I came up with two recipes, one for a mimosa and then one for a little bit later in the day, like maybe 4 o'clock happy hour when we finish up the quilt. So the mimosa is called Cherry Bomb Mimosa. Yes. So this one is yummy. So you just use pineapple juice and then get just a jar of maraschino cherries, and you use a little bit of the juice from the cherry jar, and you put 1 cherry in there, and then you just top it with sparkling wine or champagne. And as simple as that. It looks really pretty, and it's nice and unique. So then for later in the day, this one is perfect. I'm calling it Strawberry Fizz. So all you need is just regular strawberries. I just slice up a few strawberries, and you can use simple syrup or agave. You just muddle that in a shaker, add some vodka and lemon juice, then you shake it up, and then you strain it into a glass, and then you top it with the champagne. Now, let me tell you how you make both of these non-alcoholic. You get yourself a non-alcoholic sparkling wine, sparkling cider. And you can make them exactly, so the mimosas will be delicious like that. And then the Strawberry Fizz, use the strawberries, use a little agave, and you just skip the vodka, use the lemon juice, and then you just top with that sparkling wine. It will be delicious, I promise you. So I'm looking forward to these. It's already making me excited about Sunday. So I'm sure you're going to be making the salads ready for us, right?
Oh, for sure. And they won't be janky.
They won't be janky. That's right. That's right. All right. Do we have any? So all of these are on the Kimberly blog. And what I'm going to do too after the show, I'm going to put those versions of Kimberly on the blog post. So go to our website, find the blog, and then find the Kimberly Quilt Along blog post. That has all of the information. It even has Mr. HP's playlist, a link to his playlist on Spotify. And those of you that have Spotify and want to just search it, it's called, what is it called? Do you remember? Kimberly
Well,
Kimberly QAL. Yeah.
2022.
Okay. All right, so that will be fun. Any more questions on the quilt along before we get to some fabrics?
Yoga Sunday.
Is there going to be yoga on Sunday?
Maybe.
Of course. We will talk him into doing a little bit of yoga stretches halfway through our quilt along, as we always do. Yeah, you got to get your set up for that. Don't worry if you're new to us, it's not going to be a full out yoga session. You don't need a mat or anything. It's just a few stretches to loosen up those sewing knots. All right, so one more thing before we dive into these fabrics. We've been talking about our tent sale for a while now, and we are putting the final touches on a nice digital brochure about the tent sale. So that'll be in one of our newsletters coming up here probably next week or the following. We're counting down to that, of course, after our next event on Sunday. So Saturday, August 27th, 10 to 2. And I wanted to put this call out first here on the show. We are actually looking for a few volunteers. If you want to volunteer helping out, we're going to have a lot of folks here. So we unfortunately don't have enough staff to man everything. So we would love to get some volunteer helpers. We actually got that idea from all of you. And so we're looking for 2 shifts. One would be 9 to 12 and the other one would be 12 to 3. And the only requirement is just, you know, happy attitude and be able to be on your feet. So we're not making you carry anything or anything like that. So if you are interested in being one of our volunteers, just send an email to our help@gequiltdesigns.com. And I know we're probably gonna get a huge response, so we will just kind of contact the first emails we get, and until we have enough volunteers. So appreciate it if you can find a way, wanna help us out on that day. Of course, we are in Chaska, Minnesota. I should I should say that, Minneapolis area.
Just fly in.
All right, so let's take a look at some great fabrics. I have 3 lines to show you, actually kind of 4. So first one is a new Allison Glass from Andover. And Allison is, of course, known for her beautiful, vibrant colors. I like to, when she comes out with her lines, you know, they're really vibrant. They're really unique in the design, the actual print. And I look at them more so as almost like basics, because some of them they're great tone-on-tones in there. And so they're great to mix with other stuff, even though they look fabulous all together on their own. With a great contrast. So this line is called Between. I'm going to start with one of the floral prints here. So when I put together the bundle, of course it doesn't have the whole line in it. I always try to balance out the colors so we have a variety. So we're starting with this pink. Yeah, here's the floral, and here's that next print is kind of like a scene, landscape scene. Just a little bit of purple print on that pink. Then we have pink going into a little bit of lavender purple, some scribbles. Going into blue, we have that landscape print. We have a directional icon print, a little bit brighter blue. That's kind of been her in most of her lines, similar. Then we have a little bit of turquoise with hints of chartreuse and green and blue. We have a little green, that bigger floral. We have the scribbles in the green with a little bit of olive in there, a little darker green. And here is an olive print with the icons. And you can see these are perfect if you have never made like a rainbow quilt. This is the way to do it. So here we go into that curry yellow, and then into a yellow chartreuse type of print, that landscape print, and then finishing it off with an orange. So tying it back together to the rainbow. So this is Between by Allison Glass. There are quite a few more prints. I added all the lights just in our 1 yard. So this is one of them, Between Day Smile. So just little circles with a little moon in there, smiling moon. And then we have the landscape print in the dawn color. And then we have the Between the Anchors in the Gaze. So it's almost a navy print on white. So low volumes to add to it or use as backgrounds. So then I did a fabric pull, kind of just using the colors throughout. I'm going to start with the darkest pink here, Impressionist, and then more pink. This was a color club. And then the dot matrix and the azalea, a little bit lighter with deeper tones in it. Going into a purple, I love the spotted iris for that. For the blues, the grunge and the cobalt kind of bridges both of the blues. For the turquoise color, I love this Nature Elements Ocean Breeze. And then the more greener, the shabby and the vivid is a perfect match with that kind of seafoam green. Going into the more greener tones, the chalk and charcoal sprout, great mix with these colors. And then the curry yellow, I love the sugar and the cactus. And then the chartreuse, the canvas, and the bumblebee, a yellowish-ish chartreuse. And then the floral elements in the orangine for the orange. Super pretty, great for any rainbow work that you want to do. Great basics in there, but obviously would look awesome on its own. Couple of more if you wanted some more options for lights. This one would mix well with them. This is a modern backgrounds, the net in the white. And then if you wanted a nice contrast, a focus, I would probably go almost black, or this one is gunmetal, the Spectrastatic gunmetal, not quite black, so a deep charcoal would work really well, not be so harsh against all these colors. That would be a fabulous background. For some of her previous lines, I one time did an Alberta quilt, and I used a kind of a charcoal background like that. And it just was so vibrant with that really great contrast. All right, and I believe, I don't remember if this was one of our pre-orders. It may have been. So that's all been shipped out. And then the next line I'm going to show you is a novelty line. Another one I've been showing you. I showed you, remember the top shelf spirits, all the liquors and the vodkas and gins and rums and all that. And then I showed you the wine one last week. Well, we can't leave the beer lovers out. So this one is called Ale House. So it's just an 8-piece line, very novelty. So of course, I probably wouldn't include all of those in a quilt, but they're really fun to include in a little bit, a few of them in a quilt or some smaller things for those beer lovers and brewery attendees, which are a lot of them. So we have the glasses, the beer glasses. We have the beer bottles. Of course, these are not going to be any brands that you're going to recognize because they're all made up. Otherwise, they'd be paying a fortune for that licensing. But they're kind of fun. Cool Mountain Ale, Regal Lager, Monks, Abbey Malt. Yeah. So here's the bottle caps for the bottles. I love this little typography print. And then we have the beer cans. So all kinds of beer cans. And these would be so cool for bags, gift bags, table runners and things at the bar. More cans, straight on. We have the crumpled up cans when the beer is all gone. And then the bottle or the can tops. So this is the 8-piece line. We do have a couple of the prints in 1 yards. So the cold one, the one with the cans, and then the typography print with all the fun alehouse words. For a fabric pull, I really, because it's so colorful, I just pulled out some of the colors that we see. Obviously some blues. So a deeper blue would be Canvas Cobalt, and then the brighter blue would be Moonscape and the Dresden. Of course, some yellow, so Spatter and the medium warm gold is perfect. A little bit of red, the Bumbleberries Berry Red. And the green, another Bumbleberries bright green for all the green in there. And then of course there's black, so I did do a couple of blacks, chalk and charcoal in the black, and then the moonscape in the ebony, and a couple of whites, dimples in the snow, and spectrostatic dust. So super fun for all those beer lovers. I have to say, my son is one of them. He loves craft beers. Ale House is the name of this 8-piece bundle. So every birthday of his, I buy him one of those subscription clubs for beer, and that's his favorite birthday present. So yeah, it's easy one to find a birthday present like that they absolutely love. Gotta love that. Free beer. Free beer. That is true. All right, we have one more gorgeous line, and that is a Lewis and Irene fall line. It's called Snuggle Season. I love that name. And I love this line. And guess what came from Lewis and Irene at the same time? This is their first fall-winter line. So we have the new Bumbleberries fall-winter colors all in stock. So I want to show you this first before I show you the line so you can recognize some of these. So every fall, Bumbleberries is the basic from Lewis and Irene. So twice a year we get new colors that all coordinate with their lines. So we put together a fat quarter bundle, which has been really popular every year, with the colors of that season. So here's what the fat quarter bundle looks like, and then we put a piece of paper in here with listing all of the colors with the color numbers. So this is soft yellow, so it can be like a little color card for you, but you get a whole fat quarter. So they're so great. They mix with so many more things than just the Lewis and Irene fabrics. So that is now available, and just know that that's not going to last very long. So we have all of those colors in 1 yards as well. But of course, being that they're the seasonal colors, they are not reorderable. So once we are out of them, they are gone, unfortunately, most times. All right, so let's take a look at Snuggle Season. So yes, fall, but they have little gnomes in there. Super, super cute. Just gonna open this. So this is the main print. I love the feel. I love the colors. They just do a really great job in their colors. So both with their basics and their lines. So this is the full line. So it is a 15-piece collection. And here is the rest of the print. So these small pumpkins and mushrooms on a little dotted background. We have the pumpkins and kind of a collage print with pumpkins and gourds and mushrooms and leaves. Beautiful. And then I love this one. This is typography print. So it says, gather in, fall in love, fluffy blankets, candlelight, harvest, autumn, sweet autumn. Yeah, really cute. And we have acorns on this beautiful caramely brown taupe color. Some rust orange color with the pumpkins. And then we go into this beautiful raisin, kind of a raisin brown color. I love this tone. Very unique. So the typography print, a little bit lighter hue of this tone with the acorns. And then we go into this sage green, almost like a bluish sea glass color. But I love it with a contrast of the other traditional fall colors. We have the acorns in that color going into more of a sage green here, and that's what I love. There's this huge difference in their fabrics. Going into this charcoal with the typography and small pumpkin print, and then the large main print with the gnomes on the charcoal. So this is Snuggle Season. Isn't it gorgeous? Gorgeous. So then for the fabric pull, of course, I'm going to start on the light end. The crisscross texture in the ivory looks great with it. This was one of our Color Club fabrics. So then we're gonna go kind of by color. This brownish color works well with the reds here, Dash Flow and the Brand. And then I'm pulling in some of the new Bumbleberries. We have Bumbleberries in the soft terracotta color, and then a little bit brighter, the Bumbleberries in the pumpkin spice. Then we go into this darker raisin. We have the chalk and charcoal and the walnut, a little bit more brown. And then a new Bumbleberry is called Warm Brown. Has a little bit darker hue, which also works well with the charcoal. This color, which I love, Grunge Cider and the Pumpkin Cookies would be perfect. And then into the greens. Dash Flow Meadow for the green. For the more bluish colors, the Bumbleberries Iced Sage, a new color. And then for the darker ones, because there's a lot of green in these, the Bumbleberries in the Dark Seas looks great with that. And then I have two colors that are two fabrics that are not in the prints, but they are throughout. If you wanted to add a focus print, bright red, the berry red Bumbleberries would be great because all the gnomes are wearing their coats and it's kind of sprinkled throughout. And then also if you wanted to add a yellow, because there is golden yellow, the Grunge Cider Mulled Cider color would be nice as well. And then I found an awesome plaid to throw in there. The plaid and the chestnut would work perfectly. I would cut that on the bias for a beautiful binding. But this is Snuggle season. I just love, love, love these. Love these prints from Louis and Irene. So cute. And all of our fabric pulls are on the blog already with links, so makes it real easy for you to go back to look at them and decide if you needed something. Great reference for later on. So always remember that all of our fabric pulls are on our blog. Just put there with the dates of when we did those pulls, so you can go back and find that. All right, beautiful fabrics today. So all we have, any questions on any of this stuff? Do you see any questions pop up?
See here.
Oh, Nadine is asking if I have a favorite fabric designer. I'm so good at the fabric pulls. I do not. I have many favorites. And you know, even if you have a favorite fabric designer, everybody has, you know, good and bad days and whatever. So I don't like flat out like everything that my favorites do, but you know, some of my favorites throughout the years just usually don't go wrong.
I like this comment.
Thanks for the info on trimming janky pre-cuts. Yes, we don't like janky pre-cuts, which is why we cut our own with our Stripology ruler. No dealing with janky pre-cuts. I like that. That's a great use of the word of the day. All right, so our live winner, I've seen lots of comments today, so thank you all for being active in that.
Let's see what we got.
Yes, let's see.
First, a drum roll.
A drum roll, which I can't hear, but I hope you hear it. I'll just have a sip of my drink.
Let's do that again. Here you go. We don't like that. Ready?
I'm ready.
For the people.
All right, let's go.
There's my drum roll, and here's your winner.
Melissa Gregory, yay! Congratulations, Melissa. Just send us an email to help@GE Quilt Designs to claim your $25 gift card so you can go shopping right away from some of our beautiful new items in the store. So our next week will be different. It's a crazy week for us. We have our quilt along on Sunday. Don't miss that. And then Monday, we're going to have a Tipsy Monday. Yes. I'm out of town on Tuesday, and it's a travel week for me, so we decided to move everything up. Tipsy Monday, 4 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Central Time, and then we're going to have a Happy Thursday, not a Happy Friday show, a Happy Thursday show. I am traveling to Iceland the following day, so we're going to do a Happy Thursday. to say bon voyage to me and my tour participants.
Yay.
Excited about that. So happy, Tipsy Monday, August 1st. Happy Thursday, August 4th.
Happy Tipsy.
And my daughter, Sana, turns 21 on Tuesday.
Yay!
The big 2-1. Mm-hmm. So you can probably imagine what I'll be doing on Tuesday. Yes. It's the baby. So it's the baby of our group of 5. So last one. What happens when they turn 21? Do they finally leave?
Yes. Bye-bye. Fly. Fly.
Fly. You can buy alcohol. Fly.
Fly.
Oh, that's so silly. All right. Well, thanks everybody for an awesome Friday. I thank you for watching, and we will see you on Sunday, 10 a.m. Everybody, cannot wait. Bye, everybody.